Okay, one more time. All right. I'm April White.
And I'm Christopher Tompkins.
And you're on the line with the Hype Busters.
Welcome. Ready for some real talk on strategic communications?
You're in the right place. Did you just turn Irish?
Yes, I did.
Wait, I didn't know you could do an Irish accent. Do more. Say more things.
Oh, no, you're putting me on the spot. I don't know if I can do it all day. With that ad tech ecosystem, this ecosystem.
It shouldn't be that funny, but it's so funny.
No, if I have enough drinks in me, I can do a good English one too. A very convincing English one and a very convincing Irish one. Because I did that the whole time I was in England. I picked it up. I have one of those. I have an ear for accents, and then it will immediately change the way I speak.
Oh, I love that. I wish I could have done that. I tried to get an Australian accent when I lived in Australia and it didn't work so well. But I came back with a weird hybrid that didn't sound American or Australian, and everyone's like, what is happening?
All right, everybody. Welcome to Hype Busters.
Hey.
Hey. Christopher Tompkins here with the lovely, beautiful April, angelic, pure.
Oh, what? How would I
April
deserve this?
What did you do to deserve this? You were born that way.
No, you.
Little stinker. So, April. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome. Glad you're joining us. We have a really interesting show. We have a lot of good news. And we're not going to talk about Meta at all. So this is a Meta-free episode. And guess what, Musk? Ain't talking about you either. Will Smith, go slap someone else because you can't slap us down. Yeah, this started off in a very odd direction. So let's see if we can kind of.
Now I feel like I'm beholden to not talk about Elon or Will Smith.
I know. I mean, all of our favorite.
Or metaverse. None of these things can be, now they're taboo subjects. So what happens? Do we get a penalty if we mention one of these off limits topics?
No, we'll lose another sponsor. I mean, due to the controversial comment of previous episodes, we have lost a couple sponsors. But you know what? Thanks for sticking with us, other sponsors. So, April, how was your week?
It's been good. It's been motoring along. We have with our operations team in the Ukraine, we now have a bit of a bump that we're hitting, which is not so great, but hopefully they're going to be fine, and eventually this will come to some conclusion.
And something like, just to kind of highlight this for anyone that's listening that is looking for virtual workers. There are a lot of virtual workers that are ready to be employed in the Ukraine, and they could really use the support. So
Absolutely.
if this is definitely something that you would be interested in exploring, April has a really great contact. So please reach out to her because it's really important for us to be able to support people. And we're trying to help really talented individuals shine during tough times. So definitely reach out to April because she has a phenomenal contact for that.
Yeah.
And you're very happy with their work. You love them.
Oh my God, they're amazing. They're so smart and they're so sweet and they're so appreciative, and they're a really central part of our team. The wages we can pay them are also more than they would be able to get otherwise, right? So
yeah,
it's a win-win, I think, but it's definitely a hard time for them, and my heart goes out to them.
Yeah, mine as well. And I think that one of the things that you may not know about April is that she doesn't know how to promote stuff that she does that's very important. So one of the things that happened in the last few days that's really important is April had a TEDx talk. Hell, man.
I know. I'm just gonna.
It's like you worked your ass off on that, and it's like, God, what can I be candid about? Oh my God. Oh, they.
I'm good at promoting other people, not myself.
Well, I gave you the platform. What'd you do?
Thank you. Yes. So yes, my TEDx talk came out, which is amazing. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. I mean, it's one of those things where I kind of had one of those, Eminem moments, right? Where it's like, oh, you only get one shot, not miss your chance to blow. Opportunity comes once in a lifetime. It was one of those like, oh, this is what he's talking about, right? Like, you don't really get a second shot at a TEDx talk. So good luck. Like, hope it's what you need it to be. But it did, in the end, it did, with a lot of, help and coaching and revising and rethinking and things. I think it was the best I could offer now, right? Not to say in 5-10 years I wouldn't have something more powerful to share, but at this point in time I felt like, okay, I delivered what's in me as a gift, right? And I don't want to say proud of it, but I'm very pleased that I had that opportunity and that it came together like it did.
Yeah, and I think that your message is really important too. I think especially during these times when everything is so divisive, I think that because could you speak to that for like a hot second about the
Yeah.
topic of your talk?
Yeah, so it's about the fight to live united, basically. And this is a really challenging time where people are having an incredible fractionalization of society.
Yeah.
And this is a moment where the only way that we're going to bring that back to center is individually, as
Hmm.
individuals. And so really it's about, okay, what can you change in yourself to change the world? Because that's all you really have control over at the end of the day. It's you. That's it. You can't control what other people do. I mean, you can try, but it's futile and it's not really very kind, right? This you have Your domain is what you can change. So
Hmm.
you can change how you interact with other people, you can change what your perspectives are, but that's it. And everything else can change by extension, by osmosis, or
Hmm.
but you have to be the change, right? At the risk of sounding cliche. So it's really about that idea that living united has to start within.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting too because it's something that even for me when we are talking about kind of like me over the last week, I was like working so hard that I was starting to get sick and my self-care was terrible. And what I find is that it's an adjacent topic, but one of the things for me that changes it for me is service. And service is not something that I get an opportunity to do in terms of altruistic service. I mean, I will do it like when I can go above and beyond for clients, or if they're asking for assistance in other areas, I can go and riff and do all that kind of stuff and dazzle them and make them happy and make them feel great, which is great for me. I mean, not without getting paid additionally for it. But outside of work, it's kind of like, what do you do outside of work? And so I was talking to my therapist and I was trying to like see like what can I do to kind of get unblocked or kind of feel a little bit more tethered to not human beings because I don't dislike being around other people. I mean, I'm an extroverted introvert. I just don't suffer fools.
Yeah,
But I don't suffer fools because I'm an agency owner. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm just kind of like working a regular 9 to 5 job where I'm not in charge of a lot of people's livelihood. So I
hmm,
have to protect everybody by being a little bit
for
tough at
sure.
times.
Yep.
And so one of the things is she's like, well, could you take off 1 day a week? And I was thinking to myself, God, I could never do that. And then I was just looking at things that I'd started relationship building in our community. And there's a pay what you can kitchen that's a restaurant in a really close neighborhood to mine, and they're looking for people to do cooking and to cook to deliver to for the people that comes into the cafe and they have whatever, and it's every Friday. And I was like, you know what? Every Friday, I'm going to commit myself to cut out my entire morning and do that. And then I can go back to work, but I'm just going to do that. And I don't care if I'm going to go back to work at 2 o'clock or if it's 1 o'clock or if it's 4 o'clock. I'll come back when I come back, but I'm going to commit myself to do that. So I've been like revamping that conversation so I could do it. And that's going to be such a game changer for me because I love doing that kind of stuff. And in those, I'm tasking myself with not being in control, not
Mm.
trying to run it,
Hmm.
not trying to offer suggestions, and just be. So,
I love that.
yeah.
Gonna be so good. Yeah, and doing that kind of service, I feel like always fuels you too.
Mhm.
Gives you some extra boost.
Well, yeah, because if you're constantly navel gazing, I think it's kind of it gets a little tedious.
Yeah, it's a nice perspective setting activity.
Yeah, because I think that you have to be tethered to nature, tethered to community, tethered to like lots of different things rather than just like, oh, well, the first person you have to work on is yourself. Well, yeah, but you have to work on yourself with other elements.
Through service.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of been my main focus over the last few days,
Love
just
that.
because I want to,
Aw.
yeah, I just want to reduce my own stress. And I think the way to do that is to kind of give my energy to something that is not 100% about me being 100% in charge.
Yeah, I like it. Good for
So
you.
yeah, so that's other than that, work is agency life is agency life.
Somehow your altruism has just completely trumped my TEDx talk.
No, folks, you just click
I'm
on the
like,
link.
I
Click on the link
I
somewhere.
did a TEDx talk and Chris did something to make the world better. I'm just
No, your voice is going to carry across the chasms of different diversity and and land. But no,
I do hope so. But
so yeah, but to digress, I was this, and then we can get into the news because there's some good stuff to cover today. The best thing ever. Okay, you're vetting people when you're hiring them. So I'm currently hiring for like a bunch of positions, and this name came through, and she's not qualified. Like I didn't. Her qualifications are like she's a programmer or something, and she's trying to go for an entry level job, and just doesn't seem right.
doesn't fit.
But then I was like, okay, this is like the sixth job that she's applied to. Let's do a deep dive. So I did a deep dive on her. Her post on Jesus Christ, February 16th. Well, it was on Twitter. It was like, well, my boyfriend finally did it. He left me and he took 3 of my dildos. And she had a picture of her dildos.
Oh,
And then she
oh,
had
oh no. Oh my god. Oh
X's
my god.
over
Oh my
top of
god.
the
Oh my
dildos.
god. Oh my god.
And she's like, at least I still have Millie for Valentine's Day. And I'm guessing Millie is the one that was left.
Oh my
But
god.
but here's the rub.
Like no. Oh
One of them was
no.
the one that wasn't mentioned was a butt plug
No. 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 I can't.
on
Why?
Twitter.
Why
On
is
Twitter.
this happening? Stop.
And I was like, should I call her? Is
And
she
be like,
seeing anyone?
hey, this is public? Is that where? Is that
Oh
where you're
my
gonna call
god.
her?
We're like, hey, how you doing? How's Millie?
My
Um,
face, my face is red just thinking about. Like I can't even. Like just listening is making me blush.
this is why, okay, because I'm in my office, and our offices. So we had like 5 or 6 people here. I was just like, come to the Chris office.
Oh,
Came
oh
in
my god,
and
oh my
pulled it
god,
up
oh
on
my
the
god,
big
oh my
screen. And I
god,
was
I
like,
wanna
guys,
die.
this
I wanna
can't,
die.
this is terrible.
I wanna die.
Everyone was just like, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but I think we should probably digress.
So I'm having a visceral response. I don't know how to continue.
Well, we'll move on from dildos past and
No,
something that is more.
no, Chris.
I told you, come on. I've gotten job interviews that say, why should I hire you? It's because I have a hot body and then a picture of someone's torso.
Oh my.
But you know what? Know what really brings us back to earth, dildos or no dildos, is definitely breaking news. You ready? Want me to dive in?
Yes, please. Get
Okay.
anything to get away from that conversation.
Anything to move away from that vibrator. So the first thing, we'll start off on a sweet note, is how prepared is the ad industry for a cookieless future? Okay, so first off, does everybody need to know what cookies are? April, do you know what a cookie is? Could you define
Yes.
it? Okay, what is your definition of a cookie? Cookie?
Oh boy. I mean, I'm gonna sound so stupid.
No,
How do I describe this? They're like
no,
they're like
you're normalizing yourself to our listeners. They want our folksy humor.
All right, it's about to get real fucking folksy. Um, it's like the little things that are left behind to to track your online activity. Close?
That's true. That's true. There are bits of code that are left behind that take all of y'all info, so people can retarget you
Yes.
and lots of different ads to a state of annoyingness. Um, Advertisers have been seeing this for a while. I mean, this is something that every with all the privacy been happening, and let's just say everything all around privacy.
Yeah.
I mean, advertisers are. I don't think advertisers are ready. I think they're ready. Like, you know what I mean? They're like preparing for it, but it's kind of like, oh shit, the tornado's right there. Go in the cellar. I mean, it's not like, you know what I mean? Let's get out of here. Let's leave this town and go somewhere else and figure it out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, sorry, I had an earthquake here.
Chris just knocked over his microphone. He got so excited.
Yeah, and if you're on our OnlyFans, you could watch that
Bang.
for $4.99 a week. But yeah, so yeah, I don't think that I think that this is going to cause a lot of issues for a lot of different companies. The whole Google privacy sandbox, what comes out of there, it's super confusing to me because this is not my forte, because Google advertising is not something I like to handle because of all of the intricacies.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think a lot of people are feeling like, yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
interesting.
so yeah, so and without all of that gravy of retargeting, I think they're going to struggle to. They have to change their messaging. They have to change how they're going to
Mm.
outreach. They're going to have to change their budgets. They're going to have to do like testing months with lots of extra dollars. So yeah, not great news, but
Yeah.
I kind of again, anytime that we talk about privacy and advertising, good. Advertisers should not always be a step ahead of the audience. They should be
Yeah.
knocked back once in a while and try to like get better, get better. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think that I mean, that's how I feel as a marketer, a digital marketer. I feel like I'm knocked back constantly that I have to get better because things are changing.
Right.
So, but one of the things that another little known fact about April is that she loves nothing more than Netflix and chilling. So this next story is close to her heart.
Netflix and chilling. Oh my goodness. It says after losing subscribers for the first time in over a decade, the streamer's change of heart has ramifications for advertisers and the ad tech industry. This is going to be interesting.
Oh.
I mean, if they're already cracking down on people sharing passwords, and now they're going to introduce ads, are they going to reduce our subscription fee? So, or do you have an option like an ad option, make it cheaper? Or are they just gonna stick us with ads?
I think they are going to stick you with ads and then stick you with more ads and then start doing layers after they figure out how everyone's going to react to it. I mean, that's how Hulu did it. Because in the beginning, everyone got ads, and then it was like, ooh, you could not get ads or you can't get ads. Hulu is almost unwatchable. I like a half an hour show will take like that a 20-minute show will be just like a half an hour on network, and you
Hmm.
can't get past the ads. And the worst part, there's like on some of the shows that I've watched recently, it's the same two ads again and again and again and again
Wait.
and again.
So yeah, I mean, I guess this is to put them. It says the move will put Netflix at parity with competitors, including HBO Max, Amazon's Frevive. Is that how you pronounce that? Frevive, Frevive, and reflects growing consumer demand for cheaper ad-supported content.
Hmm. Well, I don't know.
Ad-supported streaming. Then it says any ad-supported plan by Netflix would be coming as the type of data-driven advertising Hastings alluded to. It's becoming more difficult amid a tightening data privacy landscape.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think that's why they did like, for example, my account, I was logging into multiple devices from it. So it was showing that it was. I haven't shared my password with anyone. It's just my
Mhm.
own account, but we have it and we use it in different areas. And they actually canceled my account. They said your account's been canceled. If you'd like to reinstate it, just click here. So they're doing that because they're trying to get everyone back in line. And also, the reason why they're losing people is because they up the price. And I would say if you start putting ads in these movies, I don't know about you, but I've watched the movies lately. They're all like 8 hours long. Like, why can't anybody tell us a sync story anymore? Um, it's like, where's the hour and a half movies? I mean, easy breezy. It's like I have to like go through every emotion that's unnecessary. Like, give
Wait,
me.
what movie did you watch that was 8 hours?
No, no, I didn't. I just fell asleep and woke up after foreplay. But, like, but no, it really though, honestly, every movie's like over 2 hours, and like the Batman, I didn't watch that because I ain't doing that. But like that was like almost that was over 3 hours.
We just watched that last night.
Was it like as romantic as you had hoped?
No,
Is it
it was so
long?
long. It was so long.
Yeah. See, imagine that with ads. That's and
No.
then if they start putting
Be
ads.
like half a day.
Do you know what I would do? Do you know what I would do?
We'd have to like watch it and eat dinner and lunch and a snack later. Like
You know what we should do though? If they do put ads on Netflix, we should try to reopen Blockbusters. That's the only way that we can get around it, and we can buck the system. And we won't call it Blockbusters. We'll call it like Flockbusters or something. So like we don't have to worry about it.
you can just rent the movie
Or
without all of the stuff.
Hypebusters.
There we go. I love it.
Yeah, we're opening.
Hypebusters, the store. I
Yeah,
love
our
it.
merch is great. It's on T Republic. But yeah, so it is what it is on this one. I hate it. I hope it.
All right.
I know it's inevitable, but
It's pretty rotten.
yeah, I
All right,
blame
should we
I
move?
blame I blame your favorite show, Bridgerton.
Bridget.
I God, the Bridgerton laugh.
And my face is red again.
Oh my God. No, yeah. So another interesting story that kind of ties to when we were talking about at the top of the show. Amazon shares fall on bleak forecast and slowest growth since .com bust. So everyone that hates Amazon and has their own Shopify, don't just start doing your little jig suckers, because this is not what we're bearing the lead here a little bit. They basically had a 7.6 billion loss on its investment in electric vehicle maker Rivian, and that is the big loss that they had. But what I thought was interesting in this piece from CNBC Tech was that let me find it. The pandemic and the subsequent war in the Ukraine have brought unusual growth and challenges. So it's saying that the profits are taking a hit because a lot of its Prime membership is Prime membership's not growing to the level that they were hoping it would.
Mm.
Um, I think that it's just another one of the companies that's coming up and reporting disappointing ad revenue. And this is something that we're seeing with privacy. We're seeing this with blah blah blah, and we're seeing this with people going local. And I mean, all of this stuff has like a little bit of an impact that kind of like builds up to something.
Mm.
I don't feel that I don't really see an Amazon competitor. eBay? I don't. What
No, it's Amazon. Amazon.
Target?
It's the only other
Walmart?
place. I mean, I don't know.
Um, Dick's?
I don't
Mm,
know. I feel like it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, that's enough about that. Who's hungry? April, you like a good juicy burg.
As somebody who doesn't eat beef, yes. But Burger King is being sued by customers who claim that the Whopper is smaller than advertised.
Oh my God.
Mm. Yeah. So the Whopper may not be somewhat of a Whopper. That's what they.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
terrible.
it's pretty awful. I mean, how
Mm.
did somebody? What possessed somebody to sue them though? Filed on March 28th in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida. They're seeking monetary damages for anyone who was deceived by the advertising, although the filing doesn't name a monetary target. This is fascinating to me. Is this something where you just decide, I'm just going to go sue Burger King just for the hell of it and see what happens? Or is this actually that egregious?
Well, you have to find a lawyer that's shady enough to take it on too. That's
Right.
thirsty enough for attention. So,
So,
I mean, it's a double play, and Florida's like the thirst capital. But I would say that I don't know, because one of the things is when you look at that stuff on the commercials that they show you, and then you see it in person, it's like, what is this? Is this the right thing? And it's like it doesn't look like it at
mm,
all. It's all smushed, and like it's like it looks totally different. If you ever seen like a fast food burger unwrapped, it's not pleasant to look at. Um, it's like something that you get in like your like a high school cafeteria, you
right. Does
know?
not look like the ads.
Yeah. So wouldn't I don't know if that would be called false advertising as well, but I think they might have some sort of like little thing on the bottom
Hmm.
disclaimer.
Right.
But I don't. Is it the size of the burger in that article? Is it like I don't know what it's supposed to weigh.
It says, ask Burger King to either stop selling the overstated menu items or change its advertisements.
Oh God.
Uh-huh. Issue is, quote, especially concerning now that inflation, food, and meat prices are very high, and many consumers, especially lower income consumers, are struggling financially, the lawsuit says.
Mm. I know. I could completely feel for that 1.99 cheap piece of burger. It's like what would it do? Just like eat some feces? I mean, it's kind of like there's there. I mean, good. I'm more upset that the Dollar Tree is $1.25 now. I'm more concerned about that. That's false advertising that I got at the register.
I see.
So I'm going to sue Dollar Tree and say called $1.25 tree.
Okay.
Right. So I'll tell you how that goes.
Yeah, it sounds exciting.
Right after I dump some hot soup on my lap and sue Wendy's or something for the food being too adequately hot for a lap.
All right. So, shall we move on to 80% of CMOs turning to agencies for TV strategies amid streaming shift?
One of the big things that we are seeing across the board is that streaming is growing a lot. And according to like a TechCrunch article that I took a look at, streaming ad spend grew 57% in 2021, reaching 15.2 billion. And the market's expected to more than double from 2020 to 2022. Now, obviously we see that people are cutting the cable. You know what I mean? They're cutting out they're going directly to streaming. There's all sorts of devices where you can choose. And like literally now you have to choose 5 or 6 different platforms to get all the shows that you want, which is going to which kind of equals up to your cable bill. But I think that it's going to a lot of people are seeing the power in it because they're seeing results in it. And I think that being able to and also the content that's on and this is something that everyone buries the lead, and I know that they don't mention this in the article because no one does. If you're looking at something on I'm trying to think of a really niche one. Oh, wow. Wow is World of Wonder, and World of Wonder
Mm,
produces RuPaul's Drag Race, and all of the content on there is RuPaul Drag Race associated. So if you advertise on that streaming platform, you're shooting fish in a barrel with the market.
mm,
Absolutely. I'm not saying it's all going to be like gay men or overexcited gal pals. It's a lot of people like it, but they also have a different mindset and they have a different way of looking at things. They are very open minded. They are usually have money or disposable income, not super money. But why would you not want to do that? I was talking to somebody today, a client, and I said to them, they're like, well, how are we ever going to get up against a national company? You know what I mean? How can we ever get to that level? And I was like, get a PR campaign and shoot an advertisement and put it on streaming. You know, like,
Mm.
see, that's what I would do. It's like, or should you spend $17 million on Facebook? Marketing, I just like, here's a hype I want to bust in the chops, is that because you do the Facebook, that doesn't mean you're gonna be like uh, flush with orders. It's just not like, oh wow, okay, so I read somewhere if I get a website, I'm gonna be able to, I'm gonna make some sales. And then you get that website, and it's like no sales. And you're like, ah, shucks, what do they sell me? It's like there's,
What are these voices? We started with Jamaican,
yeah, I just
then it turned into I don't even know what that was. Cartoon, like
it wasn't Southern. No, I don't want to do too many voices because I don't want to be canceled. But yeah,
buddy. That's all, folks.
yeah, exactly, right. And then in comes like the hook to get me off stage. But no, I really do think that there's lots of power on streaming, and I don't see when it's going to stop. Just when we even talked about your favorite pastime of Netflix and chilling, and now that it's going to take longer for you to do that or to get to the desired result because of the ads, and
Hmm.
it's it is what it is. But I mean, open your eyes, because if you're out there, you do not have to be a national, big, huge company to advertise on some of these platforms. They offer hyper local ads packages. So
Huge.
dude, you have to talk to somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about. And that's not me. I'm not the ad person for you, but there's lots of great programmatic and CTV. No, because the last thing I want to do is deal with that shit. How much creative do you have to deal with? Oh my God. Creating videos and commercials? No.
So, Chris, do you want to move on to cash or trash?
Oh my God, yes. Oh my gosh, April, you know how much I
Yes,
love Skullcandy. I have all of their products,
it's so
such
not true.
as
What?
no,
Wait, what are the Skull Candy products, Chris?
I would say headphones that sound like total. So if you want to listen to like your like really bassy EDM, it's
Mhm.
like listening to it like someone's going like this. That's the bass.
I mean, that's not impressive.
No, Skull Candy is kind of like when like your grandma gives you headphones in your Easter basket. Like you're not gonna get like AirPods or Beats. You're gonna get some jack shit she found at Marshall's. You know what I mean? That's like halfway
God.
through it, you're like letting the dog chew it apart.
Oh my God.
So that's my review, Skull Candy. Again, we are open to new sponsors. Skull Candy, call us.
Wait. Okay. So what is the? Let's get into the news around here around this though. So
Yeah.
it says Skull Candy keys into music, self-expression, and year-long social push. They announced this brand campaign centered around music, authenticity, and self-expression called "Find Your Frequency." And it will feature one theme or frequency each month, including connection, expression, creativity, and play, and spotlight each through social content, music performances, limited run product debuts, athlete collaborations, and links to community causes. That is some convoluted. The headphone brand is highlighting the theme of connection with fresh content around how relationships with oneself, others, and the planet support creativity.
Mhm.
This is why is this so like convoluted and kumbaya meets nothing.
Well, it's a continuation of a campaign from last spring that centered around championing change. Sound.
Aha.
Oh, ready? Sound without boundaries.
Oh.
Okay, dear Skull Candy, your products suck, and this idea is very interesting for a brand that is known for skulls as their main kind of like branded image. Like all, it's kind of like if you were going to like borrow headphones from one of those Monster High dolls. I mean, it's like it's just ridiculous.
So what happens if people listening have a Skullcandy headset? Have you just offended them?
You know what I would do? Pull out the headphones, walk directly to any opening and throw it out. And then go and find quality headphones that are good. Now, I don't know. The one thing I will say is that I don't know if Skullcandy actually delivers for gamers because the headset that's in this little culturally diverse piece here is
Mhm,
definitely a gaming headset.
mhm.
So maybe when maybe it's just music it sucks at. Maybe like with gunshots and like Fortnite, it's really good, but I don't know.
You're killing me. All right, so we're giving that a hard trash.
Yeah, and mostly because I think the brand's terrible. And but secondly, I do think if we're really thinking about things here, I mean, what is the message of that?
It's too vague and kitchen sinky. It's all
Yeah.
the things. It doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't say anything.
And it's like everyone get together to make the world a better place by what?
Right. Yeah, it has no actionable item.
You know.
It's
Well.
all right, let's move on.
Aww. Oh, this is a great one. How ethnic e-grocers are turning up the heat on shoppable recipes. So companies like Wiki and Umamakart are promoting user-generated recipes, holding contests, and even paying people for the dishes that they develop. Okay, so I got
What do
to
you
use
think of
these.
this?
So I have to use these apps to do this. Wouldn't it be nice if I could already just do this from? So these must be. Oh, okay. I understand this.
So
Um,
the Yeah, so retailers ranging from Walmart to the fresh market have adopted shoppable recipes as a way to join meal inspiration with digital functionality.
so here's what I think about this.
Yeah, let's hear it.
This is totally fun. This is totally, totally fine. Like if I go to the grocery store, we have Publix down here in the South, and Publix, you can go into them and they have their own recipe cards. Like you can get recipe
Hmm.
cards and they sell the recipe card insert book you can put them into. And
Yeah.
then you can go over and they have cases where it's like a full recipe and then a full recipe. Usually what they'll have is like someone cooking it and then it's just like, here, what's a beef stroganoff? And I'm just like, no, that looks like and but still they're helping you shop it, right? They're
Yeah.
being enticing. They're making the whole place smell like sweaty beef, and I think it's
Mmm.
I
Sweaty
beef,
beef.
and I know how much you like a sweaty beef.
I mean, don't get me started.
Don't even get me started on my sweaty beef. You know what? Even though I don't eat it, I have 4 candles in my house that just smell like sweating cows. No, but I think it's great. I do like the ethnic angle to this
I do
because
too.
I think it's really cool that to get people to because I think there's a lot of people that think that because here's the thing I know how some of these stores do this and what they will do is they will like here's the spice and then you buy the coconut milk and then you buy something else. It's not like get a jar of Asian in a can and then like take it home and flarp it on some noodles. It's like
Flarp.
actually put it in. If you want to flarp, a can's a flarper. Like flarp. You gotta know. You gotta know the sounds.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So I like that because it builds kind of exposure. It's almost like doing those Blue Apron things,
Hmm.
but you can kind of do it at the store that's real or close and not have to be like stuck for the rest of your life getting like new potatoes and like pieces of salmon
Right.
once a month to cook. Have you ever done a subscription box like that?
I subscribe to
Oh, yeah.
Sunbasket.
I've never even heard that.
So I get Sunbaskets every week, but they come with the recipe card and the ingredients, and then you put it together.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a lifesaver for me because I'm left to my own devices way too busy to cook something healthy and good like that, and I would end up eating chicken fingers and pizza and that's not really what I want to be eating. And I don't, because I'm in the wilderness, I can't really go out to eat all the
Mm,
time. Kind of my New York foodie self,
yeah.
satiated in the wilderness.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this idea is great. I don't know what the rub was in the article, what they're saying this is stupid.
I don't really think it's stupid.
No, I was wondering if they're saying they're doing any counterpoint in this article. So yeah, so I think that we are going the opposite way of the skull candy, and we're saying that this is the type of candy that we want to eat. I don't know about that one. We'll have to wash that transition down with a little bit of Miller Lite. Nothing gives me gas like a can of Miller Lite. Or I mean, puts gas in my tank.
that was really. I mean, that was the transition of the century right there.
I know. I swear to God.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
Oprah was trying to get me on her show for a while.
Amazing. Just amazing. So, do you want me to talk about Miller Lite emphasizing the taste with beer flavored drops?
Oh my God. I'm hating this already. Go ahead.
So Miller Lite unveiled limited edition beer drops to celebrate the upcoming National Beer Day. The liquid drops by Molson Coors brand can be added to other light beers to quote enhance flavor. So I guess the idea is that you could have less alcohol with more flavor. The two new 15-second ads support the beer drops, highlighting that light beer is not meant to taste like water.
Mhm.
And it's their move to sell beer enhancing drops is an apparent jab at competitors like Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, both of which are owned by Anheuser-Busch. So this is pretty weird.
Yeah.
Pretty
Um,
weird.
well, I think that if we're looking, okay, so here's okay. My issue with this is in the visual that they're using to push it. I
Hmm.
think that's one of my first things because if you look at the image that's the hero in this article, it looks like either a deck of cards or a pack of cigarettes. The first thing I think of is that looks like a pack of cigarettes.
It does.
And then the next thing I see is that
Everyone wants cigarettes in their beer.
oh my God, yeah. I mean, anybody that's been at a college party that's made that mistake of picking up the beer that someone bumped a cigarette out in. Yeah, oof. Living in a frat
Oh.
house, that happened a couple of times for me. But there's no mention of watered down beer because the squeezer is like
Hmm.
just like a flavor squeezer that you get for sugar, for whatever flavor you want to put in your water. And so I think making the play on the watered down would have made sense. Getting rid of the pack of cigarettes and just making it more nail on the head. I feel like this is very that image very is confusing.
It is. Yeah, and they blurred out this weird can of light beer so that it's brandless, but then it's like, what's happening? You're pouring cigarettes in your your beer can that got washed out? Like, what's
Yeah, and
happening?
also, don't they like blur out genitals? Like, I don't know why it's kind of like why they're blurring out. I just don't. It doesn't. It's too weird for me.
So trash.
I'm crashing this one as
You
well
know,
alongside
we
you.
we actually haven't used we haven't said cash or trash for any of these, but so far we've just trashed them all.
Yeah, well, no. I think we were really excited about the ethnic grocers. We both cashed that. We,
Oh, right, right, right.
it,
Cash.
yeah, we it was just I did not sit on the side of Skull Candy on that battle for attention.
I see, I see. Okay.
Never on
So
that side.
so do you want to look at our last cash or trash of the day?
Yo, so why is Willa flying influencers from LA to Coachella? This elaborate marketing stunt from the payment and invoice company was created to drive awareness, consideration, and adoption of our service, its co founder told us. Oh my God. This screams something that I hear. Okay, how many times have you heard this at your agency?
Okay.
You work your off on a pitch, the content's great, everything's perfect, and you're like, this is absolutely what the client wants. You get it over to them, and they're just like, I really, really like this. The first blush is really positive. You're like, oh my God, this is awesome. And then like a day later, it's like, yeah, I just wanted to talk to you through some of the content that we sent over. Um, I was talking to my insert daughter, son, granddaughter, wife. It's someone like that was like, and they don't think that this is really resonates. So basically, I could be talking to a client that's selling compliance.
Oh my God.
We won't say who, but they'll be selling compliance. And then we will talk about something related to Instagram. And it'll be like, well, my daughter saw the post and she doesn't really feel like it works on Instagram. Your daughter's 18. Your audience is 35 plus. I hope it doesn't resonate with her. So this is someone that's taking the lead from their kid. I think that smacks it. It's like, oh yeah, influencers are the cool thing. What should I do? Oh, Coachella. Yeah. Okay. And I bet what happened was the marketer that came up with this has a kid that wanted to go to Coachella. So they got free tickets to Coachella and they did this and they were probably on the jet. And it just seems to me like it doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, but it gets even funnier. So they're boarding the private planes, complete with champagne brunches, hangover recovery IV drips, and other photo ops, rivaling those of fake private jet sets.
But
That's really something. I mean, that's really something.
oh yeah. So you'll get a champagne brunch, which everybody knows means champagne and like a croissant. And then like you're going to get the drips, which are like $100 to get yourself. Um, eh,
So, how long is this influencer thing going to last, Chris?
um, eh,
I feel like I look at this
someone
and it
get
looks,
them.
doesn't it seem like it ran its course? I'm looking at this and I feel like I'm from the future. I'm like, we're still doing this? Is this still happening?
Well, here's the sad fact on that. I think that because we're in the Great Resignation, um, brands need to gas up their marketing a little bit, and I think
Yeah.
influencers gas it up a little bit, but they don't. It's basically like, do you know when you get those like little toy cars and they have a zip cord and you zip them off and go, and
Yeah.
then they eventually go.
Yes.
That's influencer marketing. You know what I mean? It gives you like a little zip, but
And
then
then nothing.
you have to keep zipping in order to get it.
Right.
Then you plateau on the zip.
Right.
We all know where I sit on influencer marketing. I absolutely hate it. I just don't like it. I don't like banking on creative people doing stupid things that are aspirational in a world where we're all trying to be authentic. I just feel like it's off brand for the current um Gen Z.
Culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gen Z is
No,
not.
that's why I was like, are we still doing this? This is still happening? Okay.
Yeah, because that doesn't. Okay, and also if we're looking at Coachella, that I mean, yes, it does have a big cross section of ages that go to that. But if we're looking at aspirational, we're thinking of Zoomers, like right, the younger generation. That would be like, oh wow, wouldn't it be cool to do that? That looks really wild and crazy and like whatever. And then they're doing like, here, go in this pastel painted plane where everything looks like the Golden Girls living room, and we're gonna give you IVs and like Miller Lite squeeze bottles. I mean, it's like, no. And then you go to the Hot Mess Express like concert. I don't know. That's synonymous with drug use. I don't know. It just I don't feel. And anyone out there that's gone to Coachella and loves it, God bless you. I mean,
Chris is loving this.
I'm not saying what.
I said you're loving this.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that like when I go to Coachella, I would definitely because I like flying the wall type shit, but I would definitely need some sort of VIP access because I'm not going to mix with the regs. But like I can't do an outdoor concert unless I have access. I just worked in the
God.
concert industry too much to with the. It's like oh my god, it's
Oh my
made everything
God.
so much easier. But no, it's. What do you think about this? I mean, I know how much you love influencers as well. You're ride or die.
Yeah, trash. I mean I will say this, the plane is very pretty. I like the tail wing. The little it's very pretty. And I would if I could fly in that plane just based on looks, I would. Everything else seems very forced and kind of like in the past.
It does. I feel like you'll be able to execute the same look and feel with stock imagery.
Right.
You know what I mean? The whole thing looks like a tampon ad or something, or like I don't know, just something that's very like very. It's ultra feminine too. The whole thing is
It's very
extremely,
feminine.
but not
Yes.
feminine to the point of like girly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not but not edgy, which is where they're gonna get off the plane and go somewhere edgy, and you have like cute
Yeah,
girls in
this
sundresses.
looks like it should take me to a private party in Hawaii with Lay's. Like that's what that plane looks like, not Coachella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like the launch of poise pads and lavender scented. Look at the plane again and tell me if I'm wrong. But I mean,
No, you're right. You're
it
right.
is. I
Yeah.
mean, but you know what? I tell my clients this too. I'm like, tell me what things that you like, and what things you like in terms of aesthetics. And I mean, it can be a female sanitary product. If the website has the elements that you want, I want to take a look at it so I can get the feel for it.
Yeah.
And this is definitely like
So Will is flying the influencers from LA to Coachella so they can all get private douches on the
the
on the
poison
plane.
and douches. My God. Oh my God. These are feminine products. You should know what these are. They're poise pads. They're kind of like when you sneeze and you pee. Your coverage. It's not like a enema bag that you're gonna get. Oh,
How did
Coachella, free enemas.
this
Are they using the same bags as the IVs? I mean, it's
Oh
just really
god.
got from your rooter and tutor hanging at both ends. This one's
How
lavender and this
this
one's vitamin C.
this is the most crass episode we've ever done.
Oh my God. No, we had one that was like that had butt munching in it. That
Did
was pretty.
we?
Yeah, it was very rude.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know if I distributed it on my channels because all of my my audience is not into this.
They're not into butt munching.
No, no,
I
not
see.
as far as I know. I don't watch you for Oreo.
Oh my god. All right. Well, on that note, should we wrap
Yeah,
it up?
what a note it is. What a note it is, folks. Well, thank you all for dealing with us and staying with us through all of these hot stories, some of them hotter than others. If you have any questions about the news, companies, and conversations from the show this week, you'll find all the details in the notes below. Also, April, you should put your TED Talk link in the show notes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what else do you have to tell them?
If you have any questions about the
Woo!
news, companies, or conversations for this week's show, please find our contact details in the show notes below.
Yeah, in our DMs, what's gonna
Chris
happen,
can't,
folks?
he can't handle it. He can't
No,
handle it.
what's gonna happen is everyone out there, she's gonna listen to the show and see that she just read the same line that I've read, which is going to. So we're gonna keep it in. We're gonna keep it in, just for our sponsors, Skullcandy, because we have to keep running. We have to have a certain length of the show. But our DMs are always open, not for the nudes, but for the news, companies, and suggestions you want to hear about next. And thanks everybody for flooding our DMs. It's really nice to hear that we have some really super engaged listeners. So thank you guys for enjoying this show that we're doing for you. But we love hearing from you. So please keep in touch.
And we'll see you next time for more real talk on strategic communications with Chris and April.
Yeah. Hey, bye.